Good afternoon. It's Monday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That means that it's time to get Monday Night Football. They got two dog games on tonight. Anyway, it's time for Dialogue with Dozell. I just say it like that. Make your choice. It's a great choice to have. Glad you're on with us. For you who will be looking later, you want to share this. We're in the Christmas spirit. As you know, I said a few weeks ago, I was making, I guess I'm the Madam Producer, I guess I'm the executive producer of this show, I guess, so as partial my name. I've made a decision that all the craziness coming out of Tallahassee, all the craziness coming out of Iowa, Washington, and all of these places, we're not going to do that. We're not going to deal with any of that stuff unless it's just a breaking news item. We're going to do I made an executive decision that we're just going to do some light shows, have some fun. And so tonight, I have two sisters on that the show was billed as God's angels helping with God's people here on earth. And I'm just excited to have them on tonight. You've seen them before, but the story just gets bigger and better because of the works that they do. So right now, with me is my cousin, my first cousin, Chandra Heyman. And I'm just so excited about the work that she's doing in California and not only California. A few weeks ago, we had Harold Pearson on, who's almost celebrating January be a year that he has had his new heart. And we talked about it during Thanksgiving. And she sent him a blanket. And oh, man, I happen to have been there. And did he ever appreciate that? So, Jeanne, how you doing, sis?
I am good. I'm doing well. How are you?
I am great, thank you. So consistent with her spirit, doing her benevolent spirit. She is an administrator at a local hospital in LA, and she has long since been off the clock, and she stayed around because, they're 3 hours behind us. And to do the dialogue tonight, she stayed behind so that she could be a part of this show, and we want to hear about what she does. Shannon, just kind of introduce yourself again to everybody and tell what you do.
Okay. So my name is Chandra Heyman, and Dozell is my cousin. And I live in Southern California, actually in the Rancho Cucamonga area, which is about 40 miles east of Los Angeles. And in 2018, I actually founded a nonprofit organization called Talking Angels. And what we do is we donate keepsake blankets to anyone with a chronic illness, primarily cancer patients. And the purpose of the blankets is to bring warmth and comfort when you're going through some type of emotional distress, a chronic illness, chemotherapy, or anything like that. And proud to say, year to date, as of last month, we've donated over 4,500 blankets in the 5 years that we've been founded. So it's still going really strong.
Sandy, that's just awesome. And I know you got some outstanding testimonies of some of the responses you get from your giving, your sharing. But tell us what started that. What started that with you? Now we know where it started, but tell us the earthly manifestation of that.
Yeah. So in March of 2018, my mother was transitioning to the other side. And so she was actually at in-home hospice for about 3 or 4 months. And right after her passing, of course, my sisters and I, we were filled with grief and trying to deal with it and cope and move on. And, they always say the best way to deal with grief is to give back, is to help someone else, because that kind of releases some of the whatever it is that you have in you and when you're grieving. And so the premise of the blanket was, it was a way to give back. Hospice, in-home hospice, they were like really good to us. I mean, they were there on time. The nurses took great care of my mom. They always asked how we were doing, meaning my sisters and I, and just kind of helped us through the whole process and prepped us. So once she passed, 2 weeks actually after she passed, I was thinking of ways, what can I do? What can I do? What can I do? So we had come up with the blanket concept. And so initially the concept was to give these blankets or donate these blankets back to hospice to give to other patients that are in hospice. And it really didn't work out that way. So what happened was, I had met this woman from, she was a big sponsor of the Make a Wish Foundation, and that's with the children. And so I began giving her blankets for the kids that are part of Make a Wish Foundation. And then also I had my sister, my younger sister. She had a good friend whose 9-year-old daughter at the time was just diagnosed with a rare form of leukemia. And so I had asked if, and then the mom was very public about her journey, the daughter's journey. So therefore, she didn't mind, me speaking about it, posting on social media. So I actually asked if she would be a recipient of the blanket and can we do a story on her? And the mom was more than willing because she really wanted to get her daughter's story out there in hopes that the rare leukemia that she had, someone else knew about it and, that type of thing. So I did a story on her. It's actually on my website. Gave her a blanket, and then it just kind of spiraled from there. And so I worked with a lot of pediatrics with cancer. And I have a number of kids who actually have neuroblastoma that I follow and I keep in touch with, and they have the blankets. But it didn't stop there. It just kind of progressed on to breast cancer. So in 2021, we actually started what we call the Ribbon Projects. And the Ribbon Projects is basically significant of the cancer awareness ribbons. So for example, in October, it's the pink ribbon. In November, it's the purple ribbon for pancreatic cancer. This year, we actually added the white ribbon, which is lung cancer. We also have the yellow ribbon, which is pediatric cancer. So every year during the months of September, October, November, which is the ribbon months for breast, ovarian, pancreatic, and lung, we donate about 500 blankets to those that are going through treatment or they're survivors of that type of cancer. So that's what we're doing as an organization now. And so again, year to date, we've donated over 4,500 blankets, not just here in Southern California, but our blankets are mailed all over the United States. I think last week I actually mailed a couple blankets to Fort Lauderdale.
Wow.
Um, we've mailed to Texas a lot, Tennessee, um, yeah, all over the United States. So how do I get these people all over the United States? Well, we're on Instagram, and from Instagram, they read the post, other people tag me, and you know, everyone reaches out to me. And the blankets are basically, I want to say at no cost. If you're going through treatment or you know of someone, I get inbox that, could you please send my mom a blanket, my friend a blanket? She's going through this or he's going through that. And we send them out and we get great responses. We get a lot of thank yous. We hear how the blankets bring warmth and comfort. They made them feel so much better. So it's just really an emotional thing, it's something tangible that you can have in hand, something to hold on to, something that's warm and comfortable. And basically, that's the premise of Talking Angels.
It is. I guess one of the things that has been as a one of the specialties of one of the things I discovered during my 40 some year track of ministry is that one of my special calling was to pastoral or congregational care, and it's a learning process. Every day you're learning something else. I don't care how many schools whatever degrees you attain or how much experience you have. It's always something that you're learning. And sometimes it's the simplest gestures. And I happen to have been with Harold last year, and it was a pretty rough period. Like this time last year, he was sinking emotionally and physically. And I'm saying this because I know he wouldn't mind me because he basically said it. And receiving your blanket, I had not told him that it was coming or I was attached to it or anything. In fact, I don't know if I ever told. I did after the fact. And I just saw firsthand the effect that it had on him. Can you share with some of our viewers just the psychological, emotional effect that it has on people?
I can. There was a family, a gentleman. Um, his wife actually passed away from pancreatic cancer, but she was a patient at Cedar Sinai here in our Los Angeles area. And I donate blankets to Cedar Sinai on a regular basis. And after his wife passed, he actually connected with me through the website, and he reached out to me and he sent me an email thanking me for providing his wife warmth and comfort during her transition.
Wow.
And he said, if it wasn't for the love of Talking Angels, I don't think we could have made it through. And it was just the best comment ever. And that was like a couple years ago. And that testimony was proof of what we were doing as an organization was helping people. It was changing lives. It was bringing comfort. And it's comments like that that we keep going.
Isn't it funny that in life we think big and large, and we think everything has to be grandiose, and
Hmm.
oftentimes it's the little things like this that makes a difference. I'm telling you, I saw it firsthand. I saw the cheer, I saw the hope, I saw
Hmm.
the fight that came with just receiving, knowing that somebody who you don't even know and don't even know
Hmm.
this miles. I didn't share all that with him at the time, but thousands of miles away, um, expressing a gesture of love, what it can do for you. Just
Hmm.
how big that
And it's
is.
funny that this gentleman, he once he sent me that and we connected through email, he actually reached out to me via phone and he says, I want to meet the person behind the blanket.
Oh wow.
And I said, okay, we can do that. And so we met up at the medical center. We planned it, a date and time, and he donated, gave us a nice donation, and he said it's in honor of my wife. And we sat and we talked for almost 2 hours. And he almost brought her back to life. And I enjoyed each and every moment of his story because you want to be connected, you know. So um, that was the connection. I mean, we still keep in touch. It's been 2 years, and I'll text every now and then, and he'll respond. And now on a regular basis, I actually donate blankets. There's a pancreatic cancer society, a research foundation. It's out of Los Angeles, and it's called Hirschberg Foundation. And a lot of their research comes out of UCLA. And briefly, his what he and his wife had consulted with this foundation when she was first diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. But on a regular basis now, since he and I met, I donate blankets to this foundation every November in honor of this couple for Pancreatic Cancer Month.
Wow. Wow. Well,
Hmm.
it's just amazing that um, your work has grown, and I'm sure I don't know what your vision was
Hmm.
originally, but that it has grown, and the hospice societies and what other types of organizations you have attached to what you're doing.
I have donated to hospice. I donate to a pediatric cancer foundation. I've donated to individuals for, various reasons, whatever they may be going through. Um, I've donated to skilled nursing facilities. I
Wow.
always give back to the rehabilitation center that my mom was in prior to her passing every Mother's Day. I donate between 30, 40 blankets just at random for them to give out however they see fit. And most of the organizations that I donate to, it's based off of word of mouth. I also donate to it's the Barbara Sinatra Children's Center, which is in Palm Springs. It's actually in Rancho Mirage. And then most recently, they opened it's a center for autism in the Compton Linwood area. Not sure if you guys are familiar with that area, but it's it's one of the underserved communities in Los Angeles, in the Los Angeles area. And so it's somewhat of a children's center, but it's a center for autism, and then it's for moms and children. And I'm hoping to donate blankets to them as well within the next couple of weeks for Christmas.
Do you have any outreach to the Danny Thomas's hospital over in Memphis?
Oh, St. Jude's?
St.
Is it
Jude, that
St.
should have been.
Jude's? I don't have any connections to them. I actually thought about St. Jude's, but I just haven't got that far yet. So no, I don't have any connections at the moment. The best connections is a word of mouth, and then they give you a direct contact, because I have tried via email, voicemail to connect with people, and it's just really hard. So word of mouth is the best. So if you have a connection to St. Jude's, you let me know, and I would
So
definitely donate.
Shannon's foundation is her organization is Talking Angels, and I'm kind of waiting till our other guests arrive. And I know you're somewhat in transition. I want everybody to know. I know I said it in the beginning, but Shannon is
Mhm.
making an ultimate sacrifice. She's staying at work so that she could do this show with us tonight. It has been my dream, Kim and our dream, to bring she and Jeanne Albaugh together.
Mhm.
Jeanne is the founding person here at Showering Grace, and we're having some technical difficulties with her. Hope to be able to get her back on. She's been in the studio for 45 minutes. We're hoping to get that resolved. So I both of them individually. It's been my desire to get them on together. But I will go ahead and ask this question: what are
Mhm.
some of the special things that are going on for Christmas through Talking Angels? What are some of the things that you guys are doing?
So one thing that we're planning to do on Christmas, we're planning to, on Christmas Day, go to one of the medical centers in the Los Angeles area and
Hmm.
actually give out blankets to those that are inpatient. And it will probably be on the inpatient oncology unit.
Wow,
We
wow.
also did that for Mother's Day, and to all the moms that were, unable to be with their families. They were in the hospital. Myself and one of the directors over the inpatient oncology department, she went downtown LA, got flowers from the flower mart. I brought my blankets, and at 7:30 a.m. we were rounding and passing out blankets.
That
So
is
we'll probably do that for Christmas as well.
that is absolutely amazing. Just
Thank
absolutely
you.
amazing. I started out by saying one of the things by being a pastoral care specialist,
Hmm.
and I guess I think my ministry may be kind of winding down. Not my time on earth, but my ministry. And of
Hmm.
course, they say you want to hear a laugh from heaven, you put your plans in the atmosphere and see the biggest laugh come from heaven because God has His own. But one of the things I wanted to do was I minister to a lot of homeless people, and
Hmm.
that's what Jeanne were able to get her on. That's her specialty, and I know it's highly chronicled the homeless situation out there in every major city. We just returned
Hmm.
from the Mediterranean. We saw it in Barcelona. We saw it in Rome. We saw it everywhere. Wondering, is there any connection or anything that Talking Angels is able to do with that particular aspect of our society?
Well, what we do, um, once a year, we actually hand out blankets, and it's not our blanket that we give to our cancer patients, but it's a different type of blanket that we have, and then we give goodie bags also with different type of toiletries. And we choose a park or area where generally the most homeless are, and we give those out. And that's kind of like, we don't do it around Thanksgiving or Christmas. We wait till around the first of the year when everyone else is no longer giving. Because during Thanksgiving and Christmas, everyone's giving. I mean, all the homeless shelters are open, food is being donated, blankets and everything else. So we kind of wait to January, February, and then we hand out our goodies.
So I've been. It's just been a heavy burden on my heart this holiday season for
Hmm.
all of the. And we've had losses this year. We lost our
Hmm.
last two remaining aunts. My mother's last remaining sibling of 8. But my heart is just kind of going out to folk that have lost loved ones this year. That's just been a burden. I think the Lord just kept in front of me. And just your story about the man who has invested in Talking Angels and investments. Yes, certainly, and we're going to give her an opportunity to tell you how you can assist and donate and everything. And that's vital. It's needed because it's a great work, and it's not government funded. It has to go on.
Yeah.
But more than the financial investments is the people. When people put their hearts and their time and their labor behind it. Just talk a little bit about some of the volunteer things that people do, and some of the things that help push your organization and helps to keep the hope alive, for lack of
Oh,
better.
okay. And I'll just start with I actually work in healthcare, and I've worked in healthcare over 27 years. So working with people, working with patients, working with those with chronic illnesses is somewhat second nature to me. And when I first started working in healthcare, I always called it my community service job, but I get paid for it. So now I actually have a community service job with my own foundation, and I get paid for it through the people that I work with. And it's not necessarily monetary, it's the fulfillment that I get for helping them. And so in terms of, I think I lost track here, but I think you talked about donations. So we do have a website. It is talkingangels.org. We do accept donations through our website. We are also on Instagram at talkingangels_. Um, Feel free to review our website. If you have any questions, there's an opportunity for you to send Talking Angels an email. I am available through, again, Instagram at Talking Angels_. We are also on Facebook under Talking Angels. Some of the things we do to raise money, we have various fundraisers. It was just Giving Tuesday, and most of our advertisement is on Instagram. I have hosted a fundraiser back in June, because June is the was the 5-year mark, and it was also June 28th is my mom's birthday. So every year, generally the fourth weekend in June, we do a big celebration for Talking Angels. This year I'm playing a jazz concert in Rancho Cucamonga. So there's just many events. Some people host fundraisers for the organization. Some people just donate. Some choose to match a donation up to a certain amount. So we're really grateful for whatever we get. I once had a man reach in his pocket, and I'm not sure, I don't want to say he was homeless, but he was on the streets. But I walked by him. I happened to have a blanket. I gave it to him. He reached in his pocket, and he gave me all the money in his pocket. And it might have all been all of $1 and some change, but it was like $1 million, because he, from the bottom of his heart, he gave me what he had. And he didn't have to do that. So we're just appreciative to everything. And like I tell everyone, all donation goes towards the purchase of more blankets. The more donations, the more blankets that we can give out. My goal, every year we do set a goal for the number of blankets that we want to give out. This year, or in 2024, we are hoping to be able to donate 1,500 blankets. This year, we were trying to catch up with our 5-year 5,000 blankets, but we're about 500 blankets short of making the 5,000 blanket mark for being founded since 2018, 5 years. But it's okay, because next year we're going to make it up for sure. So I have a lot of great ideas for 2024. I have a lot of amazing friends that I work with, physicians, non-physicians, and just people that want to be part of the organization. So I have no doubt that we will meet our goals in 2024.
Well, I just never cease to be amazed at the spirit of benevolence, just giving in. And whatever it takes to help us to be there, I think is just vital. And like I say, I'm very sensitive during this Christmas season for whatever reason. For people that this is a first Christmas that they won't have a particular loved one, and others who the holidays are just, we're taught and we know as humans that the holidays are on one side they're very celebrated, but on the other side, it's tough for some. It's a tough season for some people. So I'm just excited about what you're doing and during the holiday season. Shannon, we're going to take a break, and I know
Okay.
you got some things. Are you able to remain with us? I think we're going.
I can remain on audio
Okay. Can you?
if
Okay.
that's okay.
Yeah. You know what? Let's just do this. Shannon, go ahead and let's do the pictures. And if we don't have our other guests, I'll pivot. There's the pivots we talked about last week in podcast. I'll pivot
Okay.
to something else. Go ahead and explain these videos.
Oh, okay. So that picture there, that is a picture of me that was taken in October. I
I
am
thought that was
also
Jordan.
no, that's Chandra. That's me. And
Unbelievable.
all my two girls look good. We all look alike, but that one is me. And that's this past October in Santa Monica, California. I also volunteer with the American Cancer Society, and I Talking Angels actually donates a lot of their blankets to the American Cancer Society because that is one of the best outreach to our cancer patients. But that's at the Stride Against Breast Cancer event. They have this event every year. It's in Los Angeles. It's in Santa Monica. It's in Orange County. It's all over. I think it's all over the world. But that's me out at the event, and I think we got there about 6:30 in the morning. Over 300 or 400 people, and they do this walk against breast cancer, and it's just overall a fun day.
I
But
saw you.
oh
I saw you
yes,
on
yes.
Facebook.
Oh, okay. Uh-huh. So yeah, I mean, I just enjoy it. So that's one of the pictures. And so that's actually me preparing the breast cancer blankets, the Pink Ribbon Project. And so generally what we do is every year I have what we call wrapping for a cause. And I invite volunteers to come out and help us wrap 300 to 400 blankets. And these blankets are actually wrapped in a gift box. Some boxes are pink, some are black, depending on the cancer. And we wrap them in this box and we hand tie it with a bow. Last year, I hand tied over 500
Wow.
bows. This year, I hand tied over 700. And
Wow.
yeah, so that's what I do. So that's a picture of me actually putting the blankets together. And then we generally distribute those to different healthcare organizations here in Southern California. Most of the blankets are hand delivered by me. But because I have a full-time job and I'm here between the hours of 9 and 5, I've had to get a few people to help me out. So I have a couple people that assist me with delivering them as well. But I just really enjoy going out and meeting the administrators and sometimes the recipients of the blankets.
Before you move on, let me ask you. Um, I was going to
Mhm.
ask you about your organization.
Uh-huh.
About how big of a consistent assistance support system do you have?
I have on any given day or any given project, probably 3 to 5 people that support me on a regular basis.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So right now, that's good because it's still somewhat of a controlled environment. This year, I must admit, it got bigger than I had ever expected, which is definitely not a bad thing. It's just it was so big and so demanding, or there was such a demand for the blankets, and I was so excited about it. But again, remember, I have a full-time job. So any work I do with Talking Angels generally is after work and definitely on the weekends.
So on that, I remember having this conversation with you.
Mhm.
It was off air a couple, maybe last year, and you said, Dozell, I wish that I could do this full time.
And I mean that.
That's all.
Nothing's changed. Nothing's changed. Um, uh, I'm not near retirement age, but I'm within retirement years of the number of years I've been with my organization. So it crosses my mind sometimes, but I also enjoy working with the people and the patients that I work with here as well. So we'll see how I'm led, which way God leads me.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah.
Continue. I didn't mean to.
Okay. This picture here, this her name is Angel. She lives here in Southern California, not far from me. And Angel is 33 years old. She was diagnosed this past March with HER2 positive stage 4 breast cancer. She is definitely a trooper. She is wearing a Talking Angels beanie. If you can't, I can't
Yeah.
really see it that well. I have my glasses on, but it says Talking Angels on the beanie.
Yeah.
And she has over her a Talking Angels blanket, and that's our blanket in black. And
Wow.
she actually receives her care at City of Hope. But like I said, she is a trooper. She has her moments where she has to be hospitalized, but the moment she gets out the hospital, she is back at it. She's just a beautiful person overall, beautiful soul, beautiful inside out. She has three small children, and we pray for her daily.
Amen.
And I actually spoke with Angel today, and I just verified that it's okay that I share her picture, and she's most definitely. So
Amen.
that's Angel.
Amen. Amen.
Mhm.
Is there another one? Is that okay? Yeah.
Oh, and this is just a picture of the blanket. They all come wrapped in a plastic bag that they we get from the manufacturer. I don't take them out the bag just for the sake of sterility. I don't want anybody touching the blanket. I don't want them to be, exposed to dust and all that type of thing because they are going to patients. So they generally stay in the bag. Once you get them as a recipient, take it out the bag, do what you want with it. But they all come wrapped in the bag. And
Yes.
that's our Talking Angels blanket.
That is so. Ladies and gentlemen, you see the work that Shani and her group does every year. And those of us who have Facebook pages, Facebook asks you on your birthday, they give you an opportunity to enlist a fundraiser. And
Mhm.
what I have been doing since Shani's been doing this, 2 years I'll do her. 1 year I'll do showering by grace as a fundraiser, and we didn't do too badly the last year that we did Talking Angels. But you see how to
Mhm.
support them. You see the work. Nobody's making money. This is not a money
Yeah,
making
no,
enterprise. This is about
no.
pouring out and helping others. And we just
Mhm.
appreciate you, Shani. Thank you. You see her
Mhm.
spirit. She sacrificed to even be with us today. And she's got to fight that Southern California, Los Angeles traffic. And she stayed by just to do this show today. Shani, we're going to let you go. I
All
want
right.
thank
I appreciate it being on the show. And I just want to say, since I've been doing Talking Angels, I'm actually prepping now. Someone I know that's in media is submitting my story to Channel 4 News. And so I just got to him today, my story. I've gotten photos to give to him. And so hopefully that all works out and I'll be on the Channel 4 News probably early next year talking
thank
about my story.
Thank you so much for what you do. Keep blessing others. Blessings to you. And we're just speaking that you're able to just spread special holiday cheer this year to
Mhm.
others. Thank you so
Yeah,
very
I just want to say to everyone again, we're at talkingangels.org. If you need a blanket or if you have someone who might be able to benefit from the blanket, please reach out to us. We generally have like a 2 to 3 day turnaround to get to the post office and get the blankets mailed out. So, again, if you know someone or if you're interested, please reach out. So, thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Shani. God bless. Merry
All
Christmas.
right. All
Enjoy
right.
it.
Same to you. Okay.
Thank you, sis. So we're going to take a break and we're going to come right back. Dialogue with those it continues. Need I say it? Go get your creations.com. Man, they got you. I've heard that term a lot lately. They've got you. They got all of your virtual needs, your web building, all of that. They make this boy look good. They'll definitely make you look good. Let's go get your creations.com. So I was going to do, we're set up to do a dang dog tonight, but I'm not going to do that tonight with this kind of atmosphere and doing this. And it was light. But what I want to do is a shout out tonight. I want to shout out everybody starting with my cousin Chandra, Jeanne, who we really was hoping could be here. We've got to get her back on because she's doing some special things through showers by grace during the holiday season. The Salvation Army. And those are just a few people that we want to shout out for your spirit of benevolence, particularly during this holiday season. I won't jump Jeannie's story. I'll let her tell it when we're able to get her back on. And she was all set and ready to be here. But we just shout you out. You have no earthly idea how some of the things that we think are small that we do for people and for families, just how much it really means. I remember I gave a homeless guy one time a pair of shoes that were really little short for him, but he wanted them. And I gave him the shoes, and you would have thought that I had just given him $500. He was so appreciative. Everybody has their season, and it may not be financial, it may be health, it may be familiar issues, it may be career issues, it may be school issues, whatever it is. Everybody has their season that we need to pick up. And tonight, the dialogue wants to take time out to just shout all of you out. And I know I didn't call out half of the organizations like St. Jude Hospital. Everybody who is a part of being a blessing to somebody else, we cannot tell you how much we just appreciate you doing. We know, and you know, that there's a blessing on the other side of this life. As Shane said earlier, talked about transitioning to the other side. There's a blessing there. But we know that God has a blessing even right here. And tonight we shout all of you up, out. Keep up the good work. Don't stop. Don't stop. Just keep doing the good work. So without Shani, without Jeanne Albaugh being able to be with us tonight, we're going to pivot. Last week we talked about podcasts, and we talked about the Pivot podcast, because the three brothers that make up that podcast actually did what they call pivoting from another podcast to start that podcast unexpectedly, and now it happens to be one of the bigger podcasts that's out there. And so we're going to pivot. We're going to talk. We're going to build on some of those things. When I was pastoring in Illinois, when we were up there, and Madam Producer was a part of this, we would take our youth choir to nursing homes, and some people were there for physical ailments, some people had mental ailments, and some people really didn't understand what was going on. They were just brought to the room, and others we would turn those young people loose to sing Christmas carols. And I get goosebumps now even talking about it. It would mean so much to the people that they were ministering to. And it was again one of the little things. It didn't cost anything, a little gas to hop in the van, and everywhere was close where we lived. And they would go there, and it would make just such a great difference in their lives. Sometimes people just need to know that you care about them, that somebody cares. And there's no greater feeling than know that somebody who doesn't even know you reaches out and spreads love or is benevolent towards you. So one of the things I want to challenge everybody in Dozell Land this week to do is do a project. Get somebody. If you get somebody who's kind of down on their fortune, that would be a great way to do it. But get somebody during this holiday season. Remember, I said during the holidays it's usually a festive occasion. I've been trying to get my friend, Pastor Burrell. I've been trying to get my wife when she's available. I just like to walk the mall. Not that these knees need the extra pressure on them, but just to walk the mall and just enjoy the festive atmosphere. Well, what's festive for you and I is not festive for some people. Some people, it's a season that they're down and depressed, and you'll never know. So I'm challenging everybody who's listening to us, who's watching us today, to find a way to just be a blessing to somebody during this holiday season. And again, as Chandra just said, everything's not money. Jeanne was here. She said, yeah, it takes money to do the things that she's doing. I saw a picture today, and I want to share this stuff so bad but I'm gonna let her do it when she comes on. We may have to take a piece of next week's show for her. I saw the large group that she had, that they were doing a special giveaway, Showering by Grace teamed up with another group that they had, because everybody that's homeless is not old or not an adult. They're children that are out there, and so, or unhoused, as we like to say. And Jeanne partnered up where her bus was out in I'm gonna let her tell all this story. But when she goes, when those buses park, our unhoused population come, not only do they get a shower that you and I take for granted, that we can go any day and just take a shower. Some of our brothers and sisters on the streets, that's the one shower they're going to get a week when that bus comes in their neighborhood. But not only does she provide showers, she has a clothing bank that they get every time that they take a shower. And let me tell you, the clothing bank it does not consist of clothes that people give away. She won't hear it. It's new stuff, because she was on the streets, unhoused, and her feeling was, we got to build them up, their esteem from the inside. And I agree with my sister 1,000%. So some of those are young people. So what I saw today, and I don't know if it was a couple of days ago, if it was just that she had done it today, where the bus was parked, they partnered with people that provided food. And often when we're ministering to the homeless, I'll go there and we'll see people come up in cars and they have 10 dinners, and our brothers and sisters will line up in lines to receive food. But they had all of these services and all of these goods, but they also had young people that somebody was supplying toys for them. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine? You don't have a house, but somebody's reaching out to you and giving you something to smile about. There's somebody during this season that can use a service or a good or the time that you have to offer them. And I'm just challenging all of us this season to find something to do that can be a blessing to somebody. We've got about another 2 weeks before Christmas, and we're asking you to just find something that you can do that would be a blessing to somebody. Maybe it don't have to be an unhoused person. It could be somebody in your family, somebody that, somebody's just down on their fortune. Just somebody just needs a pickup. And so we're challenging you to do this. I have extra time, and so I want to do this. I want to talk a little bit about the direction of the show and what some of the things that we're going to be doing over the next few months. You've already heard me say that once a month, starting in January, at least once a month, we're going to be doing we're going to take various genres of TV. And I was talking to a guest that I hope is able to join us next week. Not only genres of TV, but also movies. And we're just going to come down to generations from the beginning of TV. Remember, I told you all, I go way back to the days when TVs were black and white. So don't judge me. I've been around. I'm chronologically advanced, but don't make too much out of that. I've been around a minute. So I remember when TVs were black and white. I don't mean black and white, the color of the TV. I mean the picture that they projected were black and white. So I go back to the days of black and white TV. I saw it transition to color TVs. I saw it transition from broadcast stations when there were two. There was CBS and there was CBS, there was NBC, and then ABC popped on the scenes in the late 60s. And if you got your antenna, I know y'all don't even know what that is, but if you got your antennas up and out and you put those antennas the right way, you can see ABC real good. You can look at the Green Hornet. You can look at Batman. You can look at a variety of programming. And then ABC became a full-fledged broadcast entity. And then it transitioned over to cable TV. And so cable TV became something we start watching now, as I spoke about last week, streaming and podcasting, sort of like what we're doing and those kinds of things. So it's been a evolution process where you've seen the industry evolve and with devices now and the ability to stream and Facebook and YouTube and other websites giving you the opportunity to be live, to broadcast live. This podcast evolved from the pandemic, me being stuck in the house, living, just being in the house, and turning a Facebook Live camera on one night and having a lot of viewers. We talked sports, and then we started interviewing people. And then my daughter, we call her Madam Producer. She's one of the Toyas that makes up GoGigaCreations.com. Say, Dad, we got to do better than this. And so Go Giga Creations picked us up, and they produce this show every week for us. And we're also grateful for them. I'm getting text messages about some of the things that Shani said. And you know what? It's going to happen sooner or later. I'm going to get Shani and Jeanne on together. Whenever we try to bring them on together because of the charity work that they do, there seemingly is always something that gets in the way. We are going to get them on together and let them collaborate on camera so everybody can see. And hopefully, this is what I'm hoping. I just did the shout out. But what I'm hoping is that it will spark in you something that you are already doing, and you just don't know how to, for lack of a better term, you don't know how to market it to reach masses, or to be a help or be a blessing to masses or large amounts of people. And so what we're going to do is we're hoping that shows like tonight's show will prompt you. And when you hear Jeanne come on and talk about the multiplicity of things that her organization, it is really grown. I think they have a building now. They have the 2 buses. And when you hear about these things, hopefully it will prompt you to push and to do something on this nature, to just reach out. Donna Ross sings the song, reach out and touch somebody's hand, make this world a better place if you can. And so we're hoping that you'll be able to do this. I'm going to talk a little, next week on the dialogue, if he's traveling and if it's possible, he'll be here. If not, we're going to have some other guests. The first Christmas, we had a very Varner Christmas, and we had my mother, who's a frequent. I mean, it takes something very drastic for her. Not well, she may not be here. We're talking sports, but she's on this show every night. She was on the show. All of our family. I even had my wife got on it. She's camera shy. She was on the show, and we did what we call a very Varner Christmas, and we floated that show. We redid it. I think it was last year. We redid that on the Monday leading into Christmas. Because Christmas falls on a Monday night, we're not going to do the dialogue on Christmas night. Won't you enjoy your families? And then on New Year's, we won't be available on New Year's, but the Tuesday night after New Year's, that'll be a very special show lineup, and we'll talk more about that when the time comes. But that's going to be on. So next week will essentially be the last show of this year, and then we'll resume. But next week is a very, very, very special dialogue with Dozell. My partner in crime, KV, he's been on assignment, so it's been hard having him here the last few weeks. He played basketball when I was in I think I was a junior in college. He played basketball at Sandalwood, and I went back over there and volunteered and coached that, helped volunteer, work with Mr. Don with that team. And I met a young man named Walt McConnell. Walt's been on the show before. Walt did a career in the Air Force, and now he's in Vegas, and he does the Las Vegas Film Festival every year. And Walt is going to come on, and we're going to take a look at. We're going to definitely look at This Christmas, the movie, starring Idris Elba and Loretta Devine and Delroy. I can't think of everybody's name that was on that show, but they had an outstanding cast. It has become the quintessential. It's the Black Christmas movie that we all look at it, and I'm having that feeling. I want to look at it the other night, but I won't look at it without my wife, and she was not available. So we're going to schedule a time to sit. It will definitely get you into Christmas. You can look at that movie anytime. And we're going to talk about the behind the scenes. He knows most of those directors, knows many of the actors. And if he's available, he's traveling, he's going to do it. But I have some other folk that will come on, and we're going to discuss that and some of the other Christmas classics to kind of help us get in the mode. And we may even do a dialogue or discussion about Santa Claus. In case there are any young people watching, I won't go in depth about that dialogue, but we're going to talk about Santa Claus and how that should be dealt with in the family. And I get a panel, and we'll talk about that. But we definitely want to look at some of our Christmas stories, some of our Christmas movies, TV specials, and programs. They don't have a lot of specials like that anymore. But we're going to talk about those kinds of things that have been meaningful. And listen, the Hallmark and Lifetime Network, they're cycling almost basically nothing but Christmas movies. And there are some great movies that if you will take the time to flip over to them, you can just sit there and basically fill your evening with Christmas movies. And there's some great movies are out there. And next week, maybe we'll talk about them. But we definitely want to talk specifically about This Christmas. It was a classic. And when you ask most of us in our vernacular, we'll say, what was your favorite Christmas movie? And it kind of pops up right off the bat. It's This Christmas. And we're going to talk about that. Listen, I think I'm not going to pivot over tonight. I was going to talk about a little sports, but I'm going to leave it at this tonight. We'll be back next Monday night. Hope you'll join us. Bring somebody on. Tell them about the dialogue. We have some outstanding shows, and we're excited about what's coming into the new year. Next week, we're going to talk about the movie This Christmas and some other Christmas classic movies. We're going to talk about your favorite Christmas songs. We're going to talk about some Sirius XM. Smokey Robinson has a channel. I think it's channel 84, maybe 74. That's Smokey's holiday channel, and he'll come on and talk a little bit. And there's I remember last year hearing an interview with Brian McKnight talking about Christmas stories, and it was so enlightening. We're going to talk about some of those things to help get us in the Christmas mode, and we were hoping that you all will be in the Christmas spirit. We just wish the best to you. Dialogue with Dozell coming your way next Monday night. We look to see you there. God bless you. Have a great week. Everybody have a great week. Enjoy the season. Catch the Christmas spirit. If you're having a hard time, play some music. Go to a mall. Go get around the Salvation Army. Listen, this is the season to be merry. Be merry. Life has enough ups and downs. Enjoy this season. God bless. We're out. Dialogue.